I'm still sleepy. Okay.
I love how you expected your sleepiness to just vanish, like you literally turn on when the camera
Yeah.
starts. Doesn't work that way.
Always trying, everybody, but this episode, we're coming at you sleepy.
A little headachy as well.
Oh no, headachy?
It's like behind my eyes.
Oh no.
Pretty whack, TBH.
Oh, okay.
It'll be fine.
Alright. Well, that's a great intro. Let's get started.
For those of you guys that don't know, I'm Hayley.
And I'm Sam.
And this is the plus size section.
The plus size section. But that's funny because my Bucky shirt is like a world tour shirt.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's on brand. Okay. So this episode we are doing breaking down fat stereotypes because I thought it'd be fun to try to remember fat stereotypes and be like, actually. So this episode we're the actually people. Actually.
You gotta push your glasses.
Oh, actually. But before we get started, this is the first episode, which means, what were your highs and your lows? Hayley.
Daryl. But anyway. I have no highs. I guess if you want to call it like a loose high, I'm getting my IUD replaced tomorrow. But that's like, I'm going to be under anesthesia, and it's, anyone who has one knows that it's an experience if you have to do it awake anyway. So glad that my issues might be coming to a close with it soon, but it's just been a weird week. Weird energy.
Yeah.
My lows, I'm sleepy and I have a headache. So, all things considered, pretty like middle of the road week. Yeah. No peaks, no valleys, just meh.
Just meh. It's been a meh week. Let's see. I would say my low is that I am sleepy. Sorry, listeners. I'm so sleepy today. Trying to think if I have any more lows. Honestly, it's been kind of just like a chill week for me this week. These next couple weeks will not be chill. We're having to move our filming date because I'm working at the shop more. Gonna make that money. So now that's stuck in my head. Thank you. Everything is gonna be that now. So I'm glad I had a chill week. I went to therapy yesterday. That was interesting. We'll see.
Helpful, interesting?
Like helpful and also like kind of toxic. Like she said something that was kind of toxic. Which was weird, and I was like,
I'm so curious now, but obviously you don't have to share.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it off the pod.
Okay.
But it was just like a toxic thing she said, and I was like, are you okay? You know what I mean? Like, you good? But highs would be, I did a fun photo shoot with my friends Taylor and Carrie on Monday. That's always fun because we were like making content for Equinox Provisions. I do their social media.
Nice.
And so I got to take pretty pictures of them together, and that's always a hoot nanny, hoot and a holler. And then they took some photos of me, which I looked so pretty.
Is that what you wore that dress for?
Yeah.
That was such a pretty dress.
Thank you. That was
I loved it. I meant to tell you that and forgot.
Thank you. That's actually my wedding reception dress. So I wore that. I changed out of my wedding dress and wore that
I
to like
love that.
the party.
God, I wish I would have done that. I was so
Yeah.
hot in my dress.
Did you stay in your main dress?
Yeah, I only had the one.
Oh, Hayley, no, you gotta. Oh, I wish I would have known. You gotta get a reception dress.
Well, it's too late now.
I know. Well, Brian and I talk
I look
about.
so pretty though.
You did look so pretty. You had such a pretty dress. Brian and I talk all the time about renewing our vows, but like not doing an actual vow renewal. It's more like we just want to get dressed up and take pictures in the woods and like no one be
Yeah.
there. Yeah, like that's what
I've
we
thought
want.
of that too.
Yeah, mood.
Especially because like there was a dress that I was like in love with, and I love the dress that I got, but there was another dress that I'd had my eye on like in the months leading up to it, and then it was when it was time for me to buy one, they discontinued it. And it was like a really pale blush color, and it had gold and silver star like sequins on it, and it had like a little it wasn't like a cape, but it was like a train on steroids, basically,
Yeah.
you know? I loved it, but I think they actually restocked it like within the last year. So I kind of want to like get one of those made and have another photo shoot with it, but
You should.
it's more expensive now. It's a down the road thing. But
That's a down the road thing, yeah. But I think that'd be so legit because like you've had your weight loss surgery now, so like you do look different, and that way, and
True.
like you and Jax can do like a cute little like,
Yeah.
anniversary like photo shoot.
I can wear my crown again.
You can wear your crown again. Yes. I think that'd be dope. I love it. Like Taylor, she had like an amazing wedding photo photographer. Like they look so cute. Her dress was insane. And then there was another couple that I saw on Facebook that I went to high school with. And like he's meh, but his wife, oh, her style. Oh, mwah. The dress, like the wet. I was going through the photos just for the vibes. Like I don't even like care about him, but like she looked radiant. Like it was incredible to watch.
I love how you're like, he's mid. The wife, however.
The whole wife, however, buying it. It was incredible. Yeah, so that would definitely, I think, would be my high. We've been struggling with the pool this week, so I think it's just stressing all of us out. I think we're not going to open it next year, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, because we haven't swam in it a lot this year because I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and then we've been running around on the weekends. So it's like, honestly, it's only open for 3 months, and it cost us like $2,000, like to run it for 3 months. Like that's chemicals.
Oh my God.
Electricity, everything like that. Like it costs so much money, and we swam maybe 6 times.
Damn. You lived in it the summer before, though, I feel like.
We did, yeah, we did. So
or maybe
that
was in 2021, too.
Yeah, I think it was 2020. I think it was when we first opened it. We were all about it. And then now it's like, it's more work. So.
Like this is getting old.
It's expensive and it's getting old. So. But we're the house with the pool, so everyone's gonna be bummed, but they can just be bummed, like be bummed. Anyways, so yeah, if you're still listening, I'm sorry, guys. This is definitely the most monotone I think I've ever been. Hayley stays with that thing.
I can't help that that's how my autism presents itself.
I love it. It's so good in editing though, because I have to like quiet my laughs down, and you're just steady. You're just beautiful.
Well, that's a really good spin to put on it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we're breaking down fad stereotypes, because I don't know why I've been on TikTok a lot lately, doom scrolling at nighttime at like 3 a.m. And there's just been like a lot. I know there's just been like a lot of really shitty videos about fat people. And it's like, why? like
if we could answer that question, we wouldn't even be on this podcast.
That's so true. But like, have you seen that video of that woman? Like, I don't know their gender, how their pronouns, but they're saying that like they're fat and they're like sexy, and like all these people are like, stitching them, being like, you're glorifying obesity, and all this stuff, and like all they're doing is like not hating themselves.
Yeah.
But I have seen a lot of
I haven't seen
people.
that.
Oh, good. Well, a lot of people have been stitching it, being like, they're stitching the assholes that are stitching the original video,
Mm-hmm.
and they are saying like, hey, like, get a personality, basically.
Yeah.
You know, and
It's
then
tough.
there's
Like, not that it's tough, like, there's any merit to the haters. I mean, like, I'm always torn between, like, do you stitch the assholes and, like, give them more views, or do you just leave them alone? And,
I'm
like, don't
always leave them
engage at
alone.
all.
Yeah, I'm always don't engage, because that's what they want, right? Like, remember that one, like, I'm gonna call them, I guess, a practitioner. Remember on Witch Talk? They were going around and being like, it was a huge thing, and it was like,
There's been, honestly,
so
hate me
many.
if you want to, witchy people. There have been so many charlatans over on Witch Talk, like, it's hard to keep track.
That's true, but this one was like everyone was stitching them, because they were saying like, I can't remember, like it was so crazy, and it got to the point where people like my mutuals were like, yo, stop stitching this person, like we don't want to see them, like stop stitching them. It was kind of like,
was it that older lady? Like, she said she had cancer, and like she stole a spell from a TikToker that's in your area.
no,
This was like years ago. If you're talking about something recent, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it was recent. It was like 6 months ago.
Oh, okay. Then I have no idea.
Yeah, and then there was that TikToker that was like, the moon's a hologram or something. Remember? God, that was amazing. I made a video. I privated it because it was getting a little too popular. And I was like, we need to calm down, because I don't like making content making fun of people. Like, I think that's lame content. Like, if all of your content is making fun of someone else, like, it's not funny. I don't enjoy it. So when I made a video and I was basically like, I went outside and like I looked at the moon and I was like, stop looking at me, you hologram, or whatever. It was funny and it was lighthearted, but it was still like I was technically making fun of that person. So I was like, this isn't how I want to represent myself. So I'm gonna just kidding on that, guys. But
you
yeah.
need
Anyways,
some fire energy in your big three.
I know, right? I don't have that
Like,
much.
you
I don't
can't
have that
change
much
it,
fire.
but
Yeah. If you could you imagine customizing your chart?
I would get rid of my Pisces moon like immediately, expeditiously.
Would you?
I don't know if
No.
dude, I mean, the rest, like, Sagittarius just gets big pissy anyway. I don't need the water with it. I honestly feel like I would want an Earth moon.
Yeah,
But
we
then
are
I feel
banging.
like it would just be, like, I would just be brutal. Like, if it was like a Capricorn moon, I'd be like, quit bitching. Do
Right.
better.
Right.
No, like chaos or anything.
Well, I'm a Taurus moon, and apparently that's a very good one to have. Every time I like talk to an astrologer, they're like, what a great moon. I'm like, that's amazing. And then they go to, I think my Virgo is in Mercury or something like that. I don't really like Virgo energy. Sorry. I just don't.
I do love, Virgo energy is, I obviously love it. I'm biased though, because I am a Virgo rising.
Right.
It's very dependent on the person. Like an evolved Virgo, love. Or like a Virgo
Same.
that has water placements. Like one of my oldest friends, she's like a Virgo sun, Cancer moon, Cancer rising. And like, she is so just empathetic. Ooh. And cares about so many other people. Like, she's the least Virgo-y Virgo I know.
Oh.
But like an unevolved Virgo man.
Yeah. We're like men, right? No, I think I'm biased too on my Virgo stuff. Like, I don't know, Virgos may be dope. I just might, someone very close to me that's a hot mess is a Virgo, and I'm always like, you motherfucker. It's them. It's not their zodiac sign. I know that. It's fine.
It's very interesting for a Virgo, honestly.
Yeah, like, what's wrong with you? You're a Virgo. Like, they should be studied. It's so weird. But yeah, I think that the first stereotype is that if fat bodied people make content online that they're glorifying obesity. And it's like, no. Because guess what, everybody? Fat people are, in fact, people. Shocker. Which means that some of them are going to want to make content and post that content online.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that they're glorifying obesity. Which, like, when we do the Big O episode, which is about obesity, I would love to, like, get into, like, what that would even look like. You know what I mean? Like, what does glorifying obesity look like?
Right. I think whenever people say that, the question that comes to my mind is like, do you think all content by thin people is glorifying thinness? Like, if yes, then I feel like that's a bigger conversation to be had. But if no, then like you're just being a hypocrite.
Well, it's because thinness is equal to healthy, right? And and if you're healthy, then you have value.
Right.
But if you, of course, this is not what we believe, guys. This is what other people believe is what we're saying. I just need to clarify that because that sounded atrocious. But like, because if you're fat bodied in their minds, then you obviously are unhealthy. And if you're unhealthy, then you're bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Like, that they have such a, like, I don't know, type of view on healthiness, like a moral view on it, which is so weird.
I mean, it's like in the fabric of our society, honestly.
Yeah.
And underneath fat phobia, there's a lot of like racism historically and stuff like that. So it's one of those things like you pull at the thread and you just get more and more upset the more you find out.
That's so true. That's so true. Okay. What's one of yours?
I would say that fat people are stupid.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'd say that's one. And it's honestly like, I'm looking at your list. There's only like a couple that I can think of that aren't on the list. But yeah, I'd say the assumption that fat people are stupid and lazy.
Right.
And, you know, that one I think bothers me particularly just because of like the work situation that I'm in. But it's also like, I think it's ridiculous to look at someone's appearance and just be like, yeah, they're stupid. They're lazy. They're not capable of the job. Especially if it's a fat woman. Or a femme, you know?
Right. Which is weird because as like we age, right? As femmes age, we do tend to get larger. Mm-hmm. So like I would have lots of people do, right? So it's weird to have like kids like make fun of like bigger people when it's like, let me see your mom.
Yeah.
And like, is she in the room with us right now? You say that to my face when she's in the room. Because like that was a big thing when I was growing up, is like kids would make fun of me for being fat, and then like I would see their parents and like one of their parents would be bigger, and I'm like, that's so weird.
It's coming from inside the house.
It's coming from inside the house.
I guarantee, like if it's the mom, I guarantee that she would talk shit about herself in front of her kids all the time.
Oh no, you think?
Yeah.
Oh,
for sure. Like even not like explicitly dogging herself, but like talking about how, oh, I shouldn't eat that, or oh, I need to lose weight now that it's the new year, like stuff like that. Even if it's not directly insulting themselves, like once a kid's old enough, they can understand it and they can pick up on the meaning behind it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that today I saw a video on how the Ozempic and like Mounjaro and stuff is attributing to disordered eating. And I had never really thought of it like that, but as someone that was on it and then had to get off of it, I can actually attest to that, because what happened was I was on it and I was eating like it was like my brain was like, we're back on our diet, right?
Yeah.
And so I was eating really well and I didn't have the cravings and everything like that, right? And then when I couldn't get it anymore, the cravings came back. And then I couldn't, like, I literally, like, my, BE came back and it was really bad and I was gaining weight, remember? And like, so it was like a temporary thing that didn't like, it wasn't like what weight loss surgery is, where that's a forever change. That's a forever
Yeah.
if you do it the right way, you learn how to eat properly beforehand because you have to lose weight beforehand. Your
Yeah.
lifestyle is forever different, right? And you have to stay to it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, there's plenty of people that don't, though. Like, there's plenty of people who still, they will get weight loss surgery and view it the same way. Like, they will be back on their diet and, like,
mhm,
afraid, like, not eating carbs, refusing to eat any sugar, and, like, you know, I I don't want people to come for me because, like, there's always that, like, well, you can't police other people's behavior, and, like, yeah, I get that. But
right,
if it's just the fact of the matter, like, if you restrict certain food groups and you refuse to allow yourself to eat certain foods, that's what causes binging. Like,
right,
the over restriction and, like, that part of it. Eventually you break.
right.
So
Because
it's
it's
like you have to learn how to eat, like have to learn how to live with that in your life, or you will continue that cycle over and over.
right. You have to find a way to like soothe differently than with food. Because I
Yeah.
think that that was like the biggest thing was I thought it would like because of how good I felt when I was on the medication. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
like it's a brain thing, and I feel like it kind of is, like because
Mhm.
Monjaro does work with your brain.
Yeah.
Ozempic, I don't know to be honest, but I know like because I was on Monjaro, so it was like it was a lot different. But it's
Mhm.
like once I didn't have that, my brain was still the same. So at the end of the day, like I had a tool, just like weight loss is a tool. I had a tool to help me and assist me. But like if I'm not doing the work and I'm
Yeah.
just solely relying on the tool, then like it's not going to be long term. And that's
Right.
exactly what happened. So it was very interesting to me to be able to see that today and be like, oh, like I feel like that goes back into like the stereotype of like that fat people aren't smart because that's not true. If anything, fat people do so much research into like
Mhm.
trying to figure out what's wrong with them, quote unquote.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why they're the way that they are, why we
Right.
think the way we think, the way we eat, stuff like that. Like quite the opposite
Yeah.
of
That's
stupid.
I feel like it has to connect back to, like, po- um fat people being more likely to be in poverty and stuff, and the mentality that we have in I guess I was going to say America, but honestly the whole world, that, like, if you're rich you must be smart. Like, people think that billionaires are smart, and I have yet to see any proof that, like, Elon, or however the fuck you say his name, whatever, like, I don't think he's that smart.
Right.
He's just good at what he's doing,
Right.
which is
Well, they don't.
bad still. But
Right. They never list their failures except for Donald
yeah.
Trump, which was hilarious. He was like flat out like,
Oh yeah, but people thought whenever he was running in 2016, people thought that he was a good businessman and he was smart. Like, I heard that all the time. So it's like, okay, if you think a billionaire is smart because, like, it's because they're rich. So if you think someone is stupid, like, and they don't have any money, like, it's the same thing.
right, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Okay, so what's one of mine? I'm like looking at my list. I would say that one of the stereotypes that I definitely want to talk about is that fat bodied femmes only or won't date fat bodied men or male presenting. Um, that's from my personal experience, that is not true. My
Yeah.
ex was bigger. He was a bigger guy. Um, and I never like that didn't prevent me from being like attracted to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He and I feel like there's a stereotype that like fat men have to be funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did fall into that. Like he was very funny, but like he was also a lot of other things that I think that, you know, it's important to talk about, that you don't have to be a certain way to find the right partner. I think like if you're trying to do something that makes you feel good, then that's fine. But
Yeah.
if you're a larger man and you're like, oh, like I have to be funny all the time, or like I'm not going to catch it, or I'm not going to like get a girl, I just think that that's an unhealthy mindset to have.
Yeah.
And I've seen plenty of, you know, hetero and non hetero couples being together that are the same size. So
Mhm.
you'll have two fat bodied individuals in a romantic relationship. You'll have two thin people, two mid-size, however you want to say it. Like, I think that that's
Yeah.
just what we kind of get that idea because of TV and,
Yeah.
media and stuff. And I just I don't think it's true. And I don't think it's healthy to, if you're like trying to find a person and you're like, oh, I'm never going to find anybody because I'm a bigger guy. Like, women aren't attracted to me. That's just not true.
Yeah.
Like, let me see your attitude. Like, let's talk about your personality, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like,
I
jelly
think
roll, guys. Jelly roll. Like,
yeah. I mean, for me, that stereotype's not true as well. I've dated, one of my exes was a bigger guy as well. And like you, like, it didn't affect my attraction, like my physical attraction toward him. Like, it was honestly, like, in hindsight, it didn't register to me. Like,
right.
his physical size, it wasn't like, oh, he's fat, or like he's chubby, he's cute. Like, it was just, I liked him as a person. But I also think the stereotype's interesting because if you take if you pull back and look at like a general overview of people, like, I feel like there's a lot more like fat guys like that try and fit in with their bros that don't want to date fat women.
Oh, absolutely.
Or they're
that,
like,
you could, yeah.
they're like our biggest hater, you know?
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Not all fat men, before anyone gets upset, but
right.
if, like, there's obviously nuance to it, but you know the type of guy that I'm talking about. The ones that, like, the neck beards, that, like, have super long fingernails and toenails, that want, like, a perfect, like, uwu virgin as their girlfriend. And it's like, buddy, like, what are you bringing?
Right.
Like, have your standards, I suppose. But I just feel like there's a lot of bigger men that are like, they don't even defend fat women.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
In the way that they should.
Right, of course.
Whenever we would defend, like, we're defending it now. We're defending fat men now.
Right. Yeah.
So
we did get a really there was a comment on TikTok, and he was really nice. He actually said something about like that, as a fat guy, he doesn't have to worry about the treatment that fat women have to deal with, and that it's like disgusting, or I can't remember exactly what he said, but I was like, pop off. Like, yes, right. You are allowed in the club, buddy. You are allowed in our club. Like, stick around. Like, I love that energy. I'm a big, like, wife's guy anyways. Like, men that are, like, for their wives, or, like, partners that are for their partners. I'm trying to not use as gendered language, because I used a lot of gendered language in the last episode. But just, like, partners in general that are, like, for each other. Like, that's what I want. Like, if I'm out with friends and one of their partners is talking trash about the other with, like, the group, like, no.
See, I just don't understand that. I feel like that's a the straights are not okay thing, but it's like, why did you marry someone that you don't even like?
Right. Gross.
Like, you know, there are times where my husband, like, old boy gets under my skin easily. He's very good at that, but I've never, like, sat there and been like, yeah, this fucker, like, complaint number 747, like, to get laughs from other people and, like, tear him down publicly. Like, that's really, I don't get it.
That's weird. It's so weird. Or, like, when they call them, like, stupid or something, like, oh, she's just my, blonde wife. Like, that, I would literally be like, you don't deserve a wife.
I would fight over
buddy.
That.
Yeah. Like, wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah.
And, like, that's how they, like, I don't know, but the bros be broing, I guess. That's so ridiculous. Yeah. 2 thumbs down, bud. 2 thumbs down. Okay. What's your next one?
Well, the outline is blank, so.
I do. This just in. Hayley's outline is blank. Mine is not. First time in history.
You heard it here first, folks. Honestly, I'm going to take the last one on your list because that affected me personally. The fat femmes aren't attractive with short hair, because I got a pixie cut whenever I was 16, and I had it for like 10 years, but most of the negative treatment that I got was when I was in high school, and it was like, I was misgendered, both like by accident and like in a derogatory way. And there was definitely that narrative, like whenever I first got it cut short, like there were dudes that like made comments like I was not attractive. And it was like, cool. Glad I have a hairstyle that I like.
Right.
That's getting shit on.
Right. Well, of course, because you have to always want to be attractive to men
Oh yeah.
in this society. If they don't find you attractive, then you're worthless, right? That's how they feel.
Especially in 2007. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a time I remember it so vividly. Like I played sports, so I had on my varsity jacket, and I was at some football game, like with our cross county rivals. Like if you know small town football, you know that's a big deal. And these guys behind me in line at this pizza joint were like laughing and like basically like insinuating that I was a dude. And then like I turned, they're like, "Oh shit, that's a girl." And it was like, great. Thanks. That was a rough one.
What dudes do you know that have pixie cuts?
I think honestly from the back, I think it just looked like a regular short haircut. It was before I had like the side shaved or the blonde streak or anything like that.
Oh, okay. Still.
Yeah.
So funny, bro.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like my hair shorter. Like, I like when it's like here, like, like a bob moment. I like having a good bob.
Oh, is that what you meant by short hair?
No, I mean like pixie. I mean like
okay.
if you were like, I can't do a pixie
Mm-hmm.
personally, just because my face is very round. You have a more like elongated face. I have just circle. Like so it doesn't fit my frame, according to every hairstylist in the world that I've ever seen.
I think a good hairstylist could make it work if you really wanted that. But...
That's true. Well, I did get some wigs. They'll be here soon because I'm getting so tired of doing my hair for media. So I'm just gonna wear a wig. Yeah.
All right.
As much as I can. Right? Like I got a wig for the concert. I'm getting a wig. I got like 4, I think.
Bro, you're gonna cook at that concert under a wig.
Do you think?
I feel like it would be really hot.
They are hot. But I just don't want to do my hair. I got like a black and red wig for the concert.
It could be a look.
It could be a look, right?
Yeah. You also could you don't have to do your hair. You could just pull it up. You could channel your inner Hayley and just be a little like Adam Sandler core with it and be like, this is how I am. Take it or leave it, fuckers.
I mean, I feel like that's because it's a rock concert. I feel like that's rock mentality. It's just like an oversized shirt, biker shorts, and like boots. And like, there it is. Whoop.
Mm-hmm. There's plenty of people that will dress up, like they will be there to slay, but you don't have to.
I probably won't, to be honest, because I'm lazy.
I support
that. Yeah, but no, I think that there's like it was such a big deal. There was like a TikTok that went viral about like this one person, they cut their hair, they did a pixie as a bigger person, and they were like, I'm doing this because I want this hair.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, dude, like we can't even get haircuts without feeling like we're unattractive, even though like that's what we want. We feel attractive with this hair, right? Insane.
For sure. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's crazy. I want to do the one where fat bodies aren't fit. I think that we've talked about health, but there's a difference between like health and fitness, I guess, maybe. Like you can be healthy but not fit but not healthy. I think there is like a thing there.
Yeah, I think I get what you mean. And
you know
it's
what
like
I mean?
Very similar terms, but like they are kind of used interchangeably by people.
Yeah, I think so, because like someone that's fit can like, I guess strong. I don't know how I would say it. You guys get what I'm trying to say. But like I think that someone would look at me and be like, "Oh, she's, she's a fat bodied person, like clearly like she can't walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
or she can't do like touch her toes or something like that, which is weird anyways to like put that on somebody, right? Because
Yeah.
like what if I wasn't able-bodied? Like, what does that give you?
Yeah, what does it matter? Like,
What does
why
it
are you
matter to you?
sizing people up like that?
Right, it's so weird. But like there is this thing of like, you know, like, oh, there, you know, she's so big she can't touch her toes, and it's like, dude, I just like fucking hiked a mountain. Like,
Yeah.
you're so weird. Like, that's the weirdest fucking energy. Like, did I have to take breaks? 1,000% I had to take breaks. I'm
Mm-hmm.
carrying two of my husband in my body. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big girl.
Right.
But I'm still able to move, and I think I'm pretty fit. You know, can I do push-ups? Like, no, but I can walk just fine. And even if I couldn't, that's fine too. Like, it's like this, like,
Yeah.
superiority complex that people have, like, that most of these stereotypes are like found in, of
Mm-hmm.
like, well, if you can't walk or if you need a mobility aid, like, it's because you're fat and like
Yeah.
it's your fault, and you know, I'm better than you because I don't need that.
Yeah.
Clearly, you
It's
know what I
just
mean? It's like,
ableism.
yeah, it's ableism. Yes, that's yes, it's ableism, and it's gross,
Mm-hmm. It is
nasty.
very gross.
It's so gross.
Types of fit as well, like just people's natural abilities. Like some people are very strong, like way stronger than other people. So
Yeah,
if you need someone to help you move, that's the friend you call. But like there are also people who have like they can run extremely fast but like not for very long because they're a sprinter, and then there's distance runners regardless of their size that just have like a ton of stamina. Like, and the funny thing about it is
right.
like there are people, the people who make these kinds of shitty comments, it's not like they're physically fit specimens themselves. It's just ridiculous, I feel like.
Right. No, yeah, you're right. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm the person you would call if you need to move a couch. Like, I'm the strong one in that. If like we were saying on our last episode, like if zombies were coming or if there's
Yeah.
running involved, it's not me, bro. Like, when I was running from the cops, y'all, I was still like hiding behind trees. I am not a
No.
sprinter. I'm not a long distance runner. I'm a like, they won't see me behind this
Yeah.
tree because it's dark type of girly. Even when my life
Yeah.
depended on it, I still
Same.
didn't run.
I was always the,
Like,
you know,
same.
I feel like I've always been seen as like the physically strong type of fat person too. And I feel like for the longest time I was, and now my back is just like, no, we're not. But the rest of me still is, I
No,
feel
we're
like.
not. Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's how I felt. Well, when I like busted, anyways, I climbed the mountain, but then when I came down the mountain, I fell. Everybody, shocker. But like I fell face first, and the backpack I was carrying,
oh
the weight like
no.
slung me
Oh,
forward.
Sam.
So I just busted face, man. I was just like, ugh, and then like my shoulder, like
Oh.
I messed up my shoulder really bad,
Mm-hmm.
just messed up my knees really bad. And so it was weird to be like, ow. Oh, and then yesterday, I didn't even tell you this. Yesterday, I'm like cooking food,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm like, I'm cooking food. We have a meat thermometer. I'm testing my meat.
Yeah.
And okay, meat is good. I take the thermometer out. My hand is just like, we're done, grasping on something, which worries me because my mom has the same issue. My hand just gives out. And the meat thermometer, this is a freak accident, y'all. It literally fell straight down into my toe,
What?
punctures my toe. Trigger warning, blood discussion. Punctures my toe,
What kind of meat
bleeding
thermometer do you
everywhere.
have?
Blood all. Well, it's like a needle.
Yeah.
You know, it has like a point, you know? And it's like a digital one, so you stick it in. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, it has the long thing and then the handle. And I just dropped it, and man,
Oh my
that
God.
motherfucker went straight down, like, counter length, and punctured my toe.
Yeah.
It hurt
That
so
sounds awful.
bad.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's okay. So I was limping, but I don't even know why I was talking about that.
Just a little,
My brain, my ADHD, is just
just a
like
little
going
clumsy
crazy
moment.
today.
God knows I have those all the time.
Just
When you said that
uncomfortable.
about your mom having that, I was like, wait, that's not normal. Because like sometimes like I'll just drop shit, like or it'll be totally fine, and my hand,
That's not
it's
normal.
like I short circuit, and my hands will just like, and it'll go flying.
Yeah,
Well,
apparently that's not normal. It's a sign of like it's either arthritis or carpal
what
tunnel.
are
I
you
can't
gonna do?
remember.
I guess.
Yeah. What are
Yeah,
you gonna do? What are you gonna
I
do?
already have arthritis in my back
Ugh.
anyway, so if that's what it is, fine. If it's carpal tunnel, I work on a computer. I know it's coming. Yep.
Right. You do work on a computer. Yeah.
I'm sorry about your toe, though.
It's okay. It's okay. I had to tape a band-aid to it because it's right like the band-aid was going in like the toe crotch and it kept lifting up. Anyways, this is like the dumbest story. Sorry, everybody.
Toe
But anyways, like
crotch.
I hurt my toe and fat bodies,
Oh
the
my
toe
god.
crotch, and
Yes.
fat bodies can be fit
Yeah.
bodies. So shut up. It's so funny because everybody that listens to this podcast, like clearly they're down for fat bodies, but
I
we're like,
know.
hey, motherfuckers,
Well,
listen here.
we're trying to reach them.
Like, yeah,
Oh
we
my
are.
goodness.
We really are.
Okay, so fat bodies aren't hygienic. We stank. That's what the stereotype is.
You're right. It's so ridiculous because if anything, fat people I feel like are more hygienic
Yeah,
for
I don't know
because
about
of this
anyone else, but I am
stereotype.
like, even
Right?
though like my executive dysfunction prevents me from doing a whole lot about it, I am like, even before that started, like I was petrified of someone thinking that I stunk. Like it's like
Right.
just
Same.
always in my brain, kind of like pre-weight loss surgery. Anytime I sat down on an unfamiliar chair, it was like, don't break. It's just always there.
Yeah. I mean, I make jokes about my pit stinking because like before I got the deodorant I have, which I'm not naming the deodorant because we're not sponsored. So, and I know they sponsor people, so I'm not naming names. But I got this. Actually, no. If people do suffer from like BO, I do want to tell them. Okay, if you guys suffer from BO, Lumi does actually work. Okay, I struggled with really bad BO. If you've been watching the podcast, listening to the podcast, you know there's been a couple episodes where I'm like, dude, I'm fucking reeking. Like my pits are stinking. And so like it was really like it was a really bad like time for me. I don't want to stink as a bigger person. Like I said, the
Yeah.
stereotype, it really is like a fear, I feel like, of a lot of fat people. So I was in Target and I was like, oh, I'll just try this Lumi stuff. And I got it and it really does help me. Like I have to apply it like right after I get out of the shower, but it's helped me a lot and I can put
Nice.
it in all of them folds. So you can put them on the pitties, under the titties, the belly, the V landing, you know, whatever, the booty cheeks, whatever. So
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I know it was something that I did used to worry about as like a bigger person is stinking. So it made me like shower even more.
Which
wear
doesn't,
perfume.
you know, if there's such a thing as over showering. So like you can fuck up your pH and stuff.
Yeah.
And cause like skin issues if you're washing too much or like your cleanser is too harsh for your body. But I do feel that like I've always been a very sweaty person. And we've talked about this extensively on here, but for the longest time it felt like I couldn't find a deodorant that like worked for me, and I was using men's deodorant for a while, which like I was like, you know, not that there should be a big deal about it, but in my head it's like, wow, you're so stinky that you can't, like, women's stuff doesn't even work for you. But degree clinical strength, love it. I haven't tried. Yeah, for me it does anyway.
Does it work really good?
One time my husband used it because he was out of his own deodorant and it did not work for him. So I was like, hey, like try it. Maybe it's really good. Maybe it'll help. And he came back and like, no, he's like, no, it already wore off. And I was like, oh my God. But he's a sweaty boy too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I do want to try the Lumi though, because I've never tried applying it, stuff like that, anywhere but my armpits. And for some reason, it's like deodorant, like my degree deodorant only belongs on my armpits. Like I shouldn't use it anywhere else for some reason.
Right, which just depends on the ingredients. Like Lumi, I know like it's aluminum free and stuff like that. I don't know I don't know everything that's in it though, to be honest. But I like to put it under my B belly. That way I don't get, any sweatiness underneath there. I like to put it on my thighs so I don't get the rubs, if I'm going to be walking a lot that day.
Yeah, all those areas.
It works really well, like, especially, like, all the areas, because, I don't get sweaty, but, like, my face gets really red, and it looks like I'm dying. Like, it was so bad that when I played basketball, they would pull me out of the game, because they're like, you're about to pass out. I'm like, I'm actually not. Like,
mood.
I just don't sweat like that. But it's still, like, odor-wise, like, my pits have always been just the worst. I smell like a dude that's been working, like, and, like, I don't know, like, hard labor, like, hard labor. My pits were the worst, and I think that's why that's on the list of, like,
it's just another thing that was assigned morality that just doesn't need it. Like, every body stinks. If you're if you're trying to have no, like, genital scent, if you're a femme, or, like, if you're in pursuit of never smelling, like, I have bad news for you. Bodies are just kind of gross, and, like, they're cool, but they make smells. Right. Smells, like, your body odor and stuff are heavily influenced by, like, your diet and things that, like, whatever agrees with your body's specifically more. Oh my god, that scared me. It's okay, but it's just not, people stink sometimes. Is it, like, appealing? No. But should you be shamed for it like people are? Also no.
Also no. What was it? For a long time, people were like, women were like rubbing their coochie juice on their necks. Did you see that? It's like an actual thing. I think it's called. I don't know the name of it. If you know, if you're listening or if you're watching on YouTube, like, drop this in the comments, because I don't know the name of it. But it's like a thing where it's like, because of the pheromones.
Of course it did.
And it started online where, like, you stick it in, right? And you just do a little dab on your neck, and I think, like, they would do it on their wrists too.
Like, I mean, it's not that it's puthy juice, or it's not that's gross. It's like, that's the same thing as swirling your finger in your BO armpit and doing the same thing. Like, is it pheromones, really? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I just picture, like, dudes, like, using the semen,
or like,
right?
Like gooch sweat,
and doing it, like, no, like,
that's pheromones, baby.
No, not gooch. Not gooch. Not the gooch, guys. Not the gooch. No. I'm sorry, no. Okay. I don't know why. When you go gooch, I just go dark. Like, because I think nut cheese is probably one of the most, like, foul odors that I have ever personally smelled, to where I think I still am traumatized from it. And, like, men will shove each other into their nut cheese, right? Or, like, they'll get it. Like, have you ever seen, like, a dude, like, go in his pants and then he, like, does the whiff? Who
are these people?
I'm
honestly, like, I know nut cheese is a thing.
For context,
I have never been with anyone that had nut cheese. Thankfully.
Okay,
Goose agrees.
So party. This, I mean, the type of parties where there's, like, adult films in the living room all the time. I'm getting my tongue pierced in the kitchen by a nightmare person. Like, party, like hardcore partying. So they were disgusting. They were always like, it was so like they couldn't go in my room.
Yeah.
Right? Because like that was for me. And Martin, they couldn't go in my cousin's room because his girl was there too. Like she stayed there too sometimes. She fed us. Like she worked so hard. Me and my cousin were partying. She was holding down the fort. I will give her credit for that. She is how we ate. She would bring us pizza from her job. That's probably the only thing we've eaten that day. Like, men are gross. This is why I get the context of like, or the view I have of men is like these, I can't, like from 18 to 25, like just.
You saw the worst of it.
Gross boys. Just, I saw the worst of it. So I'm always like, yeah, dude, they will rub nut cheese on each other. They will fart in each other's faces when they're asleep. They will ball sack each other's eyes.
Teabagging?
Disgusting.
Oh.
Just teabagging, man. Just disgusting.
They need help. They need Jesus. I can't. That's so fucking gross. I can tolerate a lot of things, but like, not that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't do it. Anyways, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know. Sorry that I hate to end it on nut cheese, and teabagging, but we've run out of time here on this super sophisticated podcast. Hayley. Hayley, where can they find us?
At your local dive bar, betting people that you can outdrink them. But if you want to find us,
that's where we'll be
on social media. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads at Plus Size Section, on TikTok at the Plus Size Section. If you want to send us some Reddit stories, personal stories, hate mail, love letters, you can do that at theplussizesection@gmail.com. Give our podcast a little quirky review and a rating if you can on Spotify, Apple, etc. We'd really love that. And also share this with your friends if you think they're into nut cheese and grundles, etc.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There it is.
Bye.
All right. Bye, y'all.